Hello world, Frida Reba Darcy and Patricia O'Connor here. We are in the process of going to do a little follow-up. I think I'm going to call this part 4, but it won't be very long. Our other parters had been actually quite long. Come on, baby. Like yesterday, the one that's still uploading for 2 days now, well, since last night. Quick look at our Japanese black pine seeds that I have popped. Nothing yet to show. It's been a week. Last time I already had 2. So I just think it might be the difference in the warmer weather. It's probably 5 or 10 degrees cooler on average in my kitchen, living room. This is all one room. Who am I kidding? But it's probably a little bit cooler right now than it had been. Now, this takes us out to our balcony. Quick look. It looks different out here. Something huge is missing here. I still need to bring that back down. I'm not happy with that up there after I put it up there. This guy can probably rotate. It's been facing that way long enough, but it's looking pretty nice. And here's the work that we did yesterday. We're gonna go back and look at that. Okay, so there it is with a third of an entire tub, a little square rectangular tub of cut paste, and that is us thoroughly cut pasted. Looking at that guy, you can see that just pretty much any place where I left a cut of wood, I have gone back. I've gone back and everything got very well cut pasted. So I'm pretty happy with the way. Now, yesterday's work, as I mentioned, was not, well, I think as I mentioned in the write-up, was not without its risk. Between now and spring, I get to look at these 3 guys and go, come on, show me something. I'll be relieved when all 3 of these tops start sprouting stuff. That'll tell me that I haven't done anything that affects these lines. I shouldn't have, we should be okay. But I don't want to see any dieback here. We do want to continue to see our rollover go the way it's done. And I didn't see any instances in any of this where I thought we had crossed any lines. But going into this, I also said I haven't done a lot of woodwork of this type. Very few times. And in one instance, if I were to say that the work I did on my Dawn Redwood was comparable, I messed that up. So, if those were very comparable things that I was doing in comparable situations, I have already done damage to a tree that's taken me some time to get over by messing with tops and trying to go back and recarve things. So that's what I meant when I said that this is not without risk. But having had gone badly one time, like in like talking about my Dawn Redwood, and the one time actually my little bald cypress, my tiny little one, I've had trouble. I had to top it more than once to keep its growth down to show hen. And the second time I did that, it got mad at me. So that's kind of what I meant when I said that this is not without risk. No, I don't think that we're, I'm not super worried, but or even I would say probably relatively worried. I'm not. Oh, by the way, yeah, this is a little tool time there. I kind of went through and started organizing a little bit. Did you enjoy my coffee? Just sitting up there with your paws on the counter, going to town on my coffee. Yeah, so I decided to organize tools a little bit. This needs to get taken down and get away. This was our workstation when we started doing all of this stuff here. I don't know why, if I just didn't notice these or what, but I could cut. I noticed those yesterday. in replay of the video that I'm currently downloading. I don't know why I left all those. I don't know. I just didn't see those right there in front of me, and I didn't see them. So that's kind of it. Now, this isn't a very long video, but everybody's looking pretty good, and we're just doing a follow-up. I mainly, like I said, I'm going to call it part 4, just because, you know, I told y'all in the last video I wasn't going to record 15 minutes of pushing on putty, but I would do a follow-up and show y'all that. So because I panned over and showed y'all all 3 of those guys, we will call this part 4 of the cypress tree fall work, and then in the meantime we will do a little bit of follow-up on our trees. So everybody's pulling up and looking better. That guy looked like it was having a hard time taking up its water, so I moved it to a more sunny, less moisture inducive area, and then I would move it just before it would rain and stuff. So that's greening up a little better. That's a prized tree for me. Also, another prized tree that I'm highly concerned about is frankenpine. I have lost a lot of needles on frankenpine. Frankenpine has new growth coming out here, here, and here, but the new growth that came out before it pushed out and died. I may have wrecked frankenpine when I did this wire right here. When I pulled that super tight, I may have cut into that too much, or it may got sick of my stuff over the repots. I felt pretty good about the stuff we had done when we had done it, but right now I gotta say I'm a little concerned with frankenpine. There's still plenty of green on it. It's still putting out some new green, but a lot of what it has just gone brown. Like, there's no green on this end, and I'm looking at where I tightened that and it dug in more, and I'm going, you may have caused that problems, or you may have weakened the whole tree when you did that last repot, and now you're starting to lose stuff. So we're just kind of falling back and seeing where we are on frankenpine. I am concerned about it. I'm also encouraged, though, by a couple of my other trees. Some of our other guys are looking really, really, really good. I just love the way this little guy turned out. For instance, it just, you know, that's less than 2 years. And I enjoy the heck out of what this tree is doing for less than 2 years work. And the beautiful pot that Elizabeth made for us is just making some of these guys look like gems. And, you know, I don't need to take any more. Some of the stuff that I did that caused us problems was trying to finally get it right, trying to get this guy in a pot that I liked when I probably shouldn't have. But first I over-potted it in something that was making it hard to take up the water. So, you know, it was just a couple of little hiccups there, and now we're on the ropes. But we have, you know, but if this turns out okay and it bounces back, it should not get repotted and or go anywhere else for several years. And that's the same with these guys. Anything that anything that we did that would hurt them, they should be telling us by now, and they're not. So I'm pretty happy with where they are, and they all get to hang out pretty much just like they're doing for at least a couple of years in these little containers. So I would say, You know, we're not we're not without our traumas, and we're not without our occasional losses, but we're also getting so much good out of this. This was, you know, you got to remember, this was like $40 or $50 orders of 10 pine trees, and we're turning them into, you know, if all we do is turn them into a half a dozen little Mame bonsai trees, that in 3 years, and hell, that now, and I would say this is already a success. But give us three, you know, if that's what they look like after we bent them last year, that's kind of what I'm saying. Just think how these guys are going to be doing in a couple of years. Also, Frida missed out her time, and so I'm kind of trying to double up on the Frida exposure to make up for the lack of Frida exposure on the last two. You guys like and subscribe to Frida and I if you have not already. We try to do 2 or 3, upwards of sometimes 4 of these a week. And they're always about our cypress trees, or our pine trees, or our maple trees, or our oak trees, or our wisteria trees, or our cypress trees, if I hadn't said that twice. I appreciate you. Frida appreciates you. And thank you so much for watching.